Hey everyone, if you've been with me for a while, you know that last year I talked about a major change that happened with CVS Caremark that affected access to GLP-1 medications like Zepbound. At the time, it felt like one of those behind-the-scenes insurance decisions that most patients don't fully see, but we definitely feel it when we go to fill a prescription. Now, CVS has reversed that decision, and as someone navigating GLP-1 treatment in the real world, somebody who is on Zepbound, and somebody whose PBM is CVS Caremark, this news makes me extremely hopeful and happy. To recap what happened last year, CVS Caremark, which manages pharmacy benefits for millions of people through employer insurance plans, made a decision to favor Novo Nordisk Wegovy over Eli Lilly's Zepbound on its standard commercial formularies. For patients, that basically meant Wegovy was more likely to be covered as a preferred option, while Zepbound was less accessible or more expensive depending on the plan. And in a system where coverage decisions directly affect whether people can even start or continue treatment, that mattered a lot. Around the same time, Eli Lilly responded by ending its employee health plan relationship with CVS Caremark and moving to a different pharmacy benefit manager called Rightway, a more transparent, tech-driven system. From the outside, it looked like a growing split between a drug manufacturer and one of the biggest gatekeepers in prescription coverage. Fast forward to now, CVS has reversed course. Instead of favoring one GLP-1 over the other, CVS is now positioning both Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk medications as co-preferred options on its standard commercial formulary templates. That includes Wegovy remaining continuously covered as a preferred option, Zepbound returning as a preferred injectable starting October 1st, 2026, and Eli Lilly's new oral obesity medication being added starting on June 1st, 2026. So it just started. And for many patients with commercial insurance, CVS pricing can be as low as around, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? $25 per month, depending on the specific plan. So instead of a situation where access felt uneven between the two main GLP-1 options, both are now being treated more equally within CVS's standard framework. From a patient perspective, this kind of change matters because it affects something very basic, whether your medication is easy to access or something that you constantly have to fight insurance for. CVS says this shift came from a combination of patient feedback, employer demand, and new negotiations with drug manufacturers. And that makes sense when you zoom out. Employers who ultimately decide what gets covered have been dealing with rising pharmacy costs, especially as GLP-1 medications become more widely used. At the same time, patients have been more vocal about inconsistent coverage and confusion around why one medication is covered while another one isn't, even when they seem medically similar. And in the background, there has also been growing legal and regulatory scrutiny around pharmacy benefit managers, including lawsuits and investigations questioning how formulary decisions are made for high-cost drugs like GLP-1s. That added pressure has been building at the same time manufacturers were negotiating aggressively on pricing and access. So CVS appears to be shifting toward a model that emphasizes optional access, meaning both drugs are available and competition between manufacturers helps drive pricing discussions. What stands out to me is that this isn't really just about CVS or even just about Zepbound and Wegovy. It's about GLP-1 medications and how they are forcing the entire system to adjust in real time. These drugs have gone from niche treatments to some of the most widely discussed and widely prescribed medications in the country. And when demand grows this fast, every part of the system gets pulled into it. Manufacturers, insurance companies, employers, and pharmacy benefit managers. What CVS is doing here, at least on paper, is trying to balance access with cost control while giving employers more flexibility in how they design coverage. But in practice, it still means that access can vary depending on your specific insurance plan, your employer, and your prior authorization requirements. So even when something is covered, the real-world experience can still look very different from person to person. For me, this update really highlights something I keep noticing as a GLP-1 patient. Access to these medications is not fixed. It shifts, it negotiates, it changes based on decisions that happen far outside the exam room. So CVS reversing this decision isn't just a headline. It's another example of how fluid this entire system still is. And I am curious how others feel about that. Because at the end of the day, this is not just about policy or pricing. It's about real people trying to access treatment consistently. If you've been navigating GLP-1 coverage yourself, I'd really like to hear your experiences in the comments. And I will keep following how this evolves because I don't think this story is close to being finished yet. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.